Thinking of this, a burst of anger surged in his heart. So he took out his cell phone and sent a text message to Shangri-La boss Isik. Within 3 minutes, all the information of Li Qing, the daughter-in-law of the Zheng family in Orus Hill, was sent. When Li Qing saw Charlie looking down at the phone without saying a word, she laughed even more. "Look at your husband, I'm taunting you, he didn't even dare to speak for you. Ha ha ha." At this moment, Charlie suddenly received a text message from Isik. "Mister, the information about Li Qing has been sent to you." Charlie looked at the content of the long text message, then looked at Li Qing and her husband Zheng Hao, and asked with a smile, "I have some interesting information, do you want to listen to it?" Li Qing frowned and asked, "What information?" Charlie said loudly, "Li Qing, female, 26 years old, graduated from Orus Hill University. During the freshman year, according to investigations, there were no less than 100 records of house openings, and there were 8 different men who opened houses, including Li Hu, Ma Fei, and Du Xiaoping." Li Qing was dumbfounded, her face pale, and blurted out, "What are you talking about? Be careful, I will sue you for slander." Zheng Hao frowned, he was obviously shocked. Charlie said again, "Oh, this is amazing. You have opened a house with 2 men a few times. One of these 2 men is called Dong Bin and the other is Dong Jia. These 2 men seem to be brothers. Are you in a 3-0 me?" Li Qing shouted in horror, "You are talking nonsense. You are talking nonsense." Charlie continued, "Also, during your sophomore year, you were taken care of by the vice president of Shenhua Group at a price of 30,000 per month. You were taken care of for a total of 3 years, during which you had 4 abortions for him. At the Orus Hill Women's and Children's Hospital, the last abortion doctor declared you to be infertile for life." While talking, he asked Zheng Hao curiously, "Mr. Zheng, if I guess right, you should have no children yet?" Zheng Hao's expression suddenly became ugly. He glared at Li Qing and asked, "What's the matter?" Li Qing sweated profusely and said in a panic, "Ah Hao, don't listen to his nonsense. I gave it to you the first time. You know." Charlie smiled and said, don't worry, there are more exciting." Li Qing pulled Zheng Hao in a panic, and while dragging him away, she said, "Stop talking. Husband, let's go. It's too late for dinner." Zheng Hao frowned and said to Charlie motionlessly, "What else?" Charlie smiled and said, "Listen well. After graduating from university, Li Qing underwent a thorough plastic surgery in the plastic surgery hospital. A month later, she entered the Zheng family company and deliberately got to know the Zheng family by scratching Zheng Hao's Bentley car. Zheng Hao, a young man." After speaking, Charlie looked up at Zheng Hao, "Am I right?" Zheng Hao was dumbfounded. "I know these things and they are all true facts." "That is to say, those things before are also true facts?" Li Qing was already pale at this time, and her whole body was shaking in panic. She begged Charlie, "Charlie, I beg you to stop talking, please." Charlie sneered and said, "Now you know to beg me? Sorry, it's late." After speaking, he said again, "After knowing Zheng Hao for half a month, she took advantage of the opportunity of a business trip to Haicheng to perform a meniscus repair operation at a plastic surgery hospital in Haicheng. After returning, she officially became a girlfriend with Zheng Hao and got married in half a year." Li Qing was already sitting on the ground. She didn't know how Charlie could reveal all her secrets. This was almost shaking her old bottom to her husband. Zheng Hao was also so angry that his ears smoked, turned his head and glared at Li Qing, and yelled, "So you lied to me that it was your first time that night. It was actually yours hundreds of thousands of times, right?" Li Qing hurriedly denied, "No, I didn't. Ah Hao, you are my first time." Charlie smiled and said, "Don't worry, I can find her medical records when doing the membrane repair. You will know when she goes to the hospital to check it." Zheng Hao grabbed Li Qing's collar and slapped her hard in the face. "Don't tell the truth yet, do you? Don't tell the truth yet. After I check it out, I will sweep you out. Your father, your mother, your brother, all moved out of my villa, and your brother should stop working in the Zheng's family. I will let your family down the street." Li Qing suddenly broke down and cried, and knelt on the ground begging for mercy. Husband, don't be angry, I was wrong. It was all the mistakes I made before when I was young and ignorant. Later, I changed my mind to righteousness and lived with you. Charlie said at this time, don't believe her, after she married you, she had a few breakup shots with the man who took care of her. That breakup shot, the other party also took a video as a memorial. If you want, I can find out the video and send it to you to watch.